Hello, everyone. My name is Fatima, and I'm the Revenue Cycle Pro, and welcome to my channel, the Revenue Cycle Pro. This channel here, we discuss all things related to revenue cycle management from a provider perspective, a patient perspective, and also just for people who want more knowledge and information on revenue cycle management and the process of healthcare reimbursement. So I figured today we touch a little bit on a topic that we all keep hearing about. It's not a new topic, but apparently this is the time for this topic to just explode. We've talked about it for quite a few decades now. It's not something that hasn't been in the works, but I think now we're at the point where we're really going to see more and more implementation of artificial intelligence and how we will work that into revenue cycle management, the role that it's going to play in reimbursement, and kind of give you an idea of what you can do as a provider to plan ahead. Right? Because when you hear artificial intelligence, unless you're a tech person or you're someone who works in software or technology every day, the thought of artificial intelligence could be overwhelming, right? Most people, when they think artificial intelligence, we're thinking robots, computers, and that's pretty much what it is. Artificial intelligence, or AKA AI, is a machine's ability to think cognitively like a human would. So that means to think in a human way about rationalizing, perception, association. So literally, the artificial intelligence is basically the human mind, but times 1,000, right? Because the artificial intelligence is thinking at such a fast rate and level, way faster, way more data to sort out than the regular human mind. So when we think about artificial intelligence and how it will play a role in revenue cycle management, there are some key areas that I think first providers should think about, because it can be overwhelming, right? You hear AI and you can get easily overwhelmed. But I believe that if you compartmentalize things and just think about it from a perspective of where the most impact and the most gain can come from, then you can kind of compartmentalize and plan for the things that you know would be most beneficial and impactful to your practice and or agency, okay? So one of the key components that comes to my mind is always going to be benefits and eligibility verification, right? Before, in the old days, we used to have to manually verify someone's benefits. And when I say manually, you would call on the phone, you would punch in numbers, you would go through several prompts. Before there was even automation, you had to speak to someone. So we've come a really long way from a manual process, dialing up, calling the insurance company, to now we have the capability to take a file, call a 270, and send tens of thousands of people at one time to a payer to verify whether they're covered, what type of benefit they have, and the copay that is associated with the service, right? AI is probably going to, I can see it only enhancing that. And I think it would enhance the interpretation of the data. So even now, if we're uploading a 270 file verified eligibility, we still have to download a report. That report then has to be analyzed and interpreted, right? Somebody eligible? Are they not eligible? Do they have a copay? Do they not have a copay? Have they met their deductible? So I can definitely see where AI will come into this eligibility benefit verification process and really get granular and hone in and create the ability to where you don't have to manually run a report and still look through your results, right? So that's something that's great to think about. And I think it will also improve the interpretation of cost share. Right now, typically, if you call an insurance company, whether you're participating or non-participating, you typically get benefits quoted to you that are typically on a percentage. So they'll say, okay, we'll cover this exam 80-20, meaning that the insurance is going to cover 80% and the patient is going to be responsible for 20 of what's reasonable and customary. Now, the question is, if you're not someone who is savvy with all the reasonable and customary rates that are in your area, that's a lot of mathematics that you will probably have to do, right? AI is probably most likely going to eliminate that. So once again, enhancing the benefit verification process, I can definitely see AI being beneficial for that, and also the cost share, right? Another aspect or administrative part of operations of revenue cycle management is obtaining authorization. Authorization is something that typically is either done via a portal, it can be done via faxing paperwork, it can be obtained sending a file requesting the authorization, getting that file back. I think in this aspect, I think that a lot of standard services are now available, and insurance companies are not necessarily requiring very specific and clinical data that they may have before. So maybe you can have artificial intelligence and have some kind of add-on or service to your EMR system or whatever tools you're using to attain authorization to automate that service for you even more, right? The ability to take a patient's chart and interpret the data in such a way that it can, quote unquote, enhance the efficiency of the submitting the authorization and the probability of getting denied and or not getting approved for everything, all the services that you desired. So I think that AI will play a role in that authorizations piece. Authorizations tend to be a lot of administrative work, but it also includes clinical. So I think the AI component will probably combine the clinical and the administrative, thus eliminating a lot of the red tape that can be involved in obtaining authorization. AI will probably be used for estimating payments, right? Estimating how long it's going to take a payer to pay a specific type of claim, right? It would be really helpful to say for certain or almost to certain that it's going to take 15 to 20 days for our claim to go through the full cycle for the payer to actually receiving an EFT or in the bank or a check in the mail. So I think that AI will play a role in estimating not only how much the insurance is going to pay or will pay, but also the timeliness of those payments. I think that AI will also be involved in that as well. And I think that another thing AI is going to help folks understand is the cost to collect, right? What is it costing us to collect? How much money are we spending on AR, right? From the beginning to the moment that a patient walks in the door to the process that the claim is paid. What is it costing us to collect? You would be very surprised if you're not a provider to know that sometimes it could take up to 10 hours of work to get a claim paid, and that claim payment may only be $45, $50, right? There is a lot of behind the scenes administrative and operational type of work that goes into getting claims paid. So AI will probably help providers get granular in regards to productivity and how much it is costing to get reimbursed from payers from the beginning to the end of the revenue cycle. Now, I know there's probably a lot of apprehension, right, about AI. Once again, if you're not a tech person, if you're someone who's not tech savvy, or you're just intimidated overall by technology, it can become a little overwhelming thinking about how can I implement AI in my practice? How can I, implement AI overall? Once again, compartmentalizing, right? Trust. One of some of the things that folks are going to say is like, can I trust this data? That's always going to be a question. Can we trust anything that we're told? I would be a little nervous if people were too trusting of the data, right? We're always supposed to question the data, test the data before we trust the data. So I can absolutely see why folks would be apprehensive. There is no foolproof anything in this world, right? We have seen technology do really well, and we have seen technology destroy, right? So we have to be, cognizant of that. And having apprehension about implementing AI into your practice is absolutely normal. So just know, compartmentalize it. Think about your liabilities and your risk, right? That's a big thing. Another reason that people are apprehensive. I would not say go ahead and start implementing AI unless you have a solid IT team, you have a solid EMR system, all your tools and add-ons are working and up to par, and that all your tools and add-ons in your EMR systems, that they're even compatible with any kind of AI, right? So once again, compartmentalizing and looking at what areas within your practice, your agency, where utilizing AI would be the most meaningful. That's where I would suggest you start when planning for using AI, or even just researching AI and how it can possibly impact your practice, right? So just some helpful tips. Don't get overwhelmed. There is a lot of data. There's a lot of studies still being conducted. There's a lot of information. So get on Google, start searching, start researching, and start from the point of thinking about what's most impactful, what will make your practice more efficient, what will make your revenue cycle more efficient. Those are the key points and key areas that you should focus on when thinking about or planning to implement any type of AI into your practice. So with that being said, I hope that this quick video was helpful and it gives you a little idea of how you can go about implementing and or planning for and researching AI and how it will affect the revenue cycle. Once again, my name is Fatima and I'm the Revenue Cycle Pro. Thank you for spending a few moments of your day with me watching this video. If you would like to see more content like this in regards to revenue cycle management and the healthcare industry overall, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone is having a great first week of the new year. I hope that we're all looking forward to prosperity, right? For 2024. That is the goal, prosperity. Thank you for watching. And once again, please comment, rate, and subscribe.